cool. I like that little intro, Brackin. That's fun. We're live with Sand Shark Rewind. Justin Jarrett, joined by Brackin Lambert and Wes Kerr, and we have a friend in the green room. It's just our favorite thing. Gina Montfort going to chat with us in a little bit, but fellas, Wes, you missed out on the good times yesterday with USCB basketball while you were up in Charleston Southern covering for me for the Hilton Head Christian Academy game. But Brackin and I got to take it in, and then I got to fill you all in on it on the way home from Charleston Southern last night. So you got filled in. But Brackin, how you feeling today, man? You put on another great show yesterday.
Feel good. I actually relaxed today. It was great. Nice to a little time to just take a little bit off. You know, cutting the last second little highlights there at the last minute, but we got them. We are just talking about it, so we're ready to rock and roll. Get ready to talk some hoops and get ready for Tuesday.
Good stuff. Yeah, USCB women lost 59-47. Just kind of ran out of steam in the fourth quarter and just couldn't get a bucket at the end, couldn't get a stop when they needed one. But, it's lots of positives to take away, definitely. Brielle Bartle coming back was definitely a positive that, I'm really excited to see what she can do going forward. So, that's a big addition. Junior college All-American who can handle it. Takes a lot of the pressure off Primo, allows her to do some different things. And then the guys put up 100 again, triple digits once more. So that was fun to watch.
They're averaging 119 a game. We got the Morris game statted, and they missed a couple points. We actually scored 127. So,
that's a small percentage of the total points scored. It's like
you go a little bit crazy, but you still
full margin for error when you're scoring them that fast. The scorekeeper's going to miss one every now and then. Yeah. It's been really fun to watch, and it was fun to chat with Fudala after the game yesterday, and he's loving life right now. He's having so much fun. He's having so much fun.
I wish I could have been able to get to the games on Saturday, but I definitely enjoyed my time at Charleston Southern. Although I'm impressed with what this men's team is doing right out of the gate, storming out with 3 straight 100-point performances, hitting the century mark every time. That is, a testament to the energy of this team and the way that they have motivated themselves to come out strong offensively. Certainly, the competition is going to get tougher, but I don't think you could have asked for much better of a start for Ron Fudala's squad. And I've really enjoyed talking with them before games, and of course also on USB All Access, our coaches show. And I've been really excited about the way that he's been pushing his players and the way that they've responded in practices, and have translated that so far beautifully to the game days over on this court. And once again, the atmosphere is tremendous. Brackin, you're doing a terrific job. The presentation just continues the bar continues to raise every Saturday, and I'm expecting some big things coming up this next game day coming up on the weekend.
Yeah. And that's a perfect segue to our guest in the green room, because she has a big role in what happens on game day, that game day experience, and making it happen. And that is the Associate Athletic Director, Gina Montfort. We welcome you, Gina, to the show. Usually a viewer. We took you out of the viewing audience tonight to bring you into the show, but you like me have been around in some form or fashion since the very beginning of Sand Shark Athletics. So I know it's really important to you and meaningful to you to see this era get off the ground. And I know that you also were probably just about to lose your mind leading up to pushing that boulder over the mountaintop. So give us a little bit of insight from the administrative side of things of what all went into making this happen and having the environment that we've had here for these first couple of home games.
Yeah, it's a total team effort. We have a great staff behind the scenes who really take care of the little things that are the important details that give our student athletes a great experience on the court, our fans a great experience in the stands. But leading up to last week, there were some days where it was a little crazy, and we got felt like we ran into a lot more roadblocks at times than what we were getting things done. And so, just the ability to push forward and find creative solutions at times and just continue to stay positive of, how to make it work. And, really going back to Wednesday of last week, we still had conduit laying across the floor, and our team was not practicing on site because the floor wasn't ready, and they were starting to put in the first set of bleachers on Wednesday. And so, there's a lot of times you look back last week, and the fact that we almost honestly pulled off a miracle. And while it was timed and it was staged that way, obviously no building project runs on time, but we got it done. And kudos to our facility staff who worked a lot of late nights, and Charlie, who probably told us more bad news than he ever imagined telling us, but was there finding those creative solutions for us. And our custodial staff's amazing. They are they really are a big part of what we do. IT also, Matt Heitland, it was clutch and getting the scoreboard and the shot clock and stuff set up and us ready to run that. And Philip Gardner for working on the ticket side and just all the paperwork we have to do through Columbia to get certain things approved on the faculty, staff, and student side for the tickets. And so there's a lot of things that go in behind the scenes that people don't see. And really without them and out their help, we wouldn't make it, the experience that we have. And then also huge kudos to our score table staff. All of them are volunteers for us. Really level up the game and the experience. Our PA, they just do an amazing job of adding to that game day in-game experience for their student athletes and for the fans. And Bluffton High was able to present the colors for us on our first game, which was Veterans Day. So that was extremely special, but just a great atmosphere, I think, for our first game. And, we really talked about what are those critical things we needed to do that we needed to hit out the park. And then let's focus on those first. And then let's get to the little things. And so, we're still tweaking our intros. We're still tweaking. There's still a lot of exciting things to come that we're working through the process of, that we kind of hit some roadblocks on, but have some good things planned. And, also a big shout out to our students on campus who are doing those student sections in the frenzy. Really USCB baseball, who is behind the shenanigans under the basket and leading that student section in the frenzy. And it's so cool to see atmosphere wise, just the experience for everyone involved.
Big shout out to the baseball guys. Patterson is the MVP of the student section.
It was a slam dunk, literally and figuratively, on Saturday. Both these Saturdays, especially that first game. I just want to know more about for you, Gina, who you've been throughout the entire process and you've worked to make this transition possible from NAIA to Division II athletics. How rewarding was it to see Gwen Monahan and Dr. Panu with that recognition before that first game, and then just to see all the fans there and to take it all in after all all the work you did. I mean, you helped make this happen, and so just what were you thinking through that moments when those dreams became a reality?
Yeah, JJ alluded to this last week. We've talked about this and dreamed about this for years, almost a full decade. And so to see it come to fruition on the court, to see the teams take the court, see the fans file in, and really to see the tip for both the men and the women's, it was emotional. It was surreal in a lot of ways. It was a huge payoff. I'd say in my career in athletics, I love my student athletes and I love being part of USCB, but there's some key moments in my career that are highlights. And, the first one was me signing our application to NCAA and all the work that went in, that Quinn put in. And of course, Betsy put in for us, and, all the work that we had to do in manuals and being able to submit that to NCAA. And then that call that we got that, yeah, you're in. And this is right along with it. There's just such a peak in our careers to be able to see and to be able to pull it off. And, it's special. It's real special.
That was better than RJ Neal's catch or, the Indian Casino Hotel in Lewiston, Idaho. Bite-sized steak and fry sauce as far as
RJ's
see.
RJ's
All right,
catch
the Indian
still
Casino
lists.
was special for sure. The free popcorn and Diet Mountain Dew were clutch. So
Yes.
yes. And I'd say that's one too. JJ and I had the chance to travel with our team back in 2012 to Lewiston, Idaho for the NAIA World Series. And that was a great experience. I think it was our 4th year in existence as a baseball program. So just unheard of. And there's those moments that are definite highlights. And that's also one of them.
I
And
just
also
thought of
traveling with
another
JJ
one.
is always a lot of fun.
When Kyle McCullough gave his shoes to that kid.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We got eliminated from the World Series. And these kids in Lewiston are they're like the kids at the Heritage who just swarm the golfers, right? And they're like, give me your glove, give me your whatever. They would swarm the teams after they got eliminated while they were in emotional distress and start asking them for their gear. And the next thing we know, McCullough's like, I don't know what just happened, but I just gave that kid my shoes.
No story. Kyle actually reached out on Instagram asking for a basketball jersey. He's ready for one.
McCullough did?
Yeah, he commented on
Love McCullough.
Yeah.
Good people, man. He was a dog out there. He was an absolute bulldog on the mound. So much fun to watch. And I think we just started our oral history project, Gina. I think so many times about Lewiston and what an odd, wonderful place that is to be that week. And it's just so strange and wonderful. Like everybody just rallies around it so much. And I remember the first day that our baseball players got in trouble because they wandered up the hill from our Indian Reservation Casino hotel, and they were on some old farmer's property, and he came and started hollering at them. And then when they told him they were a baseball team, they were his best friends, and they were welcome to do whatever they wanted on his property. It was like you were just royalty in that town if you were there for the World Series. And they just rolled out the red carpet, and it's so cool. But not to take us too far off topic, but you're right. It's been a circuitous route. I mean, you think back to not that long ago, we were all working in the trailers, and it was such a glorious day when we opened that building that you're now playing basketball in. And so to walk back in there for me, as I said before, it was like walking into my old house, and like a bunch of new people live there, and man, they've really done a lot with the place. Like the bones are still the same, but it looks completely different, and they're doing a lot of cool stuff there. So kudos to all of you for continuing to move the ball forward and getting to see this payoff. And I know that, the women's program is going through it a little bit right now, just because you had 3 really key players go down with injuries before the season, and that really changed the outlook and especially in the short term for that team. But you can definitely see the impact that Sharon Versup is having and her experience. And I would guess that is filtering down to all programs. I mean, just changing the mindset and the mentality at USCB.
Oh, absolutely. It was really cool to not just sit on that search, but be able to chair that search. And, we had some amazing candidates, and then just to come away with, Sharon Versup, who's a legend in our backyard. And she's just, let me tell you, I love working with Sharon. She is, she's fantastic. She is she's a force sometimes, which is also great, because, she's going to stand up for her student athletes and their experience, and not just for them, but for other programs and for, things that we need in our department. And so, but, just her leadership and what she's done and what she's accomplished, to be able to work with her on a day-to-day basis, and really even in my role, continue to be mentored by her. It's surreal. It's in the words of Brackin, it's phenomenal. We're
trying to break him of it.
I caught myself doing it, and I stopped.
It starts to lose its meaning if you use it all the time.
Right.
If your ham and cheese sandwich was phenomenal, then it's not so meaningful.
Yeah. So, but she's great, and just the lessons that she's providing to our young women, not just on the court, but in life. And you hear her background, and she was an academic All-American, and she'll tell you that's the biggest accolade in her career. It's the only one that she cares about. And she can't tell you about the rest of her stats. But she really pushes academics hard. I got to sit in her first ever team meeting, and kind of chuckled to myself a little bit. Just but she's about communication and developing young, strong women who have a voice and have a presence and are willing to really fight for what they want and dedicate their time to the sport, but also to their academics and for really developing themselves as people. And so I couldn't ask for a better person. And she's been, key. I mean, like JJ said, she's been, plagued with some injuries, and we've had some freshmen really forced into leadership roles that maybe they weren't prepared for. But at the same time, I really think, going forward, it does make us stronger in some ways because we're going to have a lot of veteran leaders on the court once we have those injuries, taken care of, and some of our student athletes who are currently injured back. And so, I think it makes us stronger as a program down the road. And
when you're able to, put different players on the floor and develop them, and then you have that depth for when you need it going down the stretch, which is absolutely huge when you get into the meat of the Peach Belt Conference season. So hopefully, these players will all carry out the successful and swift recoveries on the women's side as the season continues. But still, Sharon Verstep, what a treat it has been to interact with her and talk with her and get to know her. I mean, just a legend at her craft. And you mentioned she does invaluable things, not just on the court, but as a mentor and as a leader to these young women. So, what a terrific choice to be the very first head basketball coach of this women's program. But the men are putting on a show as well. Another 100-point game at home. How fun has it been for you, Gina, to watch this unfold, to see what Ron Fadala is doing out there for this men's program early on?
I mean, it's great. I mean, it's hard to beat a team twice. And so we went on the road to Morris on Wednesday, and Brackin and I got to take that road trip up there. And, to see their first really road test to a team that knew them well at that point, because we've already played them and had a scouting report on us, obviously. And just went into the gym and left no doubt from the very beginning that we are the more dominant team. And they play fast. They play hard. We have basically hockey line switches every couple minutes.
Line change.
But you're right.
Great.
It's, I'm so happy for Ron and what he's built and what he's building. And yeah, we're going to run into some tougher competition down the road. Obviously, in the Peach is a very tough conference. But at the same time, right now, I think we're building some needed confidence and some ability to gain that leadership experience on the court. So, we'll continue to battle it out. And, we had to battle a little bit more this past week at Voorhees, which is, it's a good team. And so we're able to, there's some times where we are down by a couple points, which I think might be the first time we've trailed all season. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but
it was a battle, man. It was a 1-point game at halftime, and that was a team that played. It's not on their official results, but they played South Carolina State's like an 8-point game in an exhibition, a Division I opponent. So like that was a quality team. I was fairly impressed.
My favorite part about Morris, though, was the entire team was chanting for Kobe. They wanted Kobe on their team. I don't know if JJ West.
Yeah.
They liked Kobe.
Man, Kobe was lights.
Yeah.
He was
their student section was pretty tough on our women, but once they got down, their student section completely flipped, and they were absolute USCB fans and very big fans of Kobe. And were asking for 14 to be on their team. So
it was hilarious. We're sitting there like
it was funny.
Are they cheering or are they going after him or what? But it was great.
No, I think they were absolutely cheering for him.
Like, we want 14. We want 14.
Yeah, and when we broke 100 there also, they started cheering. So it was it was a different experience for sure.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it was just a hard-fought game. I mean, Voorhees, I think, just ran out of gas at the end. The men, much like your women did, they just didn't have as much depth, and they just gassed at the end. And your guys were able to pull away. And thanks in large part to being able to make those line changes. And I love the way he'll send 3 or 4 fresh guys in there and just let them go all out for 4 or 5 or 6 minutes, and then they come out red-faced and go get some water, and some fresh legs come in and go at it again. So it just allows them the freedom to not feel like they have to conserve energy, that they can just go all out because they know he's going to come get them before they run out of gas. So cool. Fun to watch.
Yeah, we haven't really had a lot of our guys in foul trouble because of that either. So it, obviously cuts down on that concern. So, and then we'll play Savannah State on Tuesday at In-Market.
Right.
So,
y'all coming to that game,
an
right?
away game, neutral site.
It's an away game, but it's it's right next door. It's over in Savannah, so hopefully we get a good amount of USCB Sand Shark fans making the trip, and it's got to be cool to play at In-Market Arena, and that's a building that is starting to be a big time venue over here, and it's a Savannah State program that should be another strong test for both these teams. So it's got to be exciting to go on the road, but especially to a program here in the Coastal Empire, which is just our next door neighbors in Savannah State.
Brackin and I did the. Go ahead, Brackin.
Oh, Tana sent me a picture of the girls. Like she was off the court because the ice is laid. They just cover the ice and put the court on top of it. But she sent me a picture, and they're under the video board, under the jumbotron, and she's like, they look so tiny. They're like ants. Aww. And I mean, it's true. I mean, it's a big arena, especially when you're out on the floor. It's
that's sweet. A good point. I mean, it's different shooting in a bigger arena too. The backdrop is further away. Your depth perception gets messed up. I remember talking to guys when we covered Mizzou in the NCAA tournament about when they first got into not much bigger arena, but when they got into the RCA Dome in Indianapolis, it was like, whoa, the shooting background is so far away that your depth perception of where the basket is gets out of whack, and it takes a while to adjust to it. So I'm glad they got to go over and practice there tonight, because they were both practicing tonight, right? Because that's really helpful to be able to adjust to that and not be like shell shock for the first quarter while you're trying to figure out where the rim is. Especially because like Bartle coming off an injury, she's already just a little tiny bit off. Like she's so close to getting it dialed in, man. She got a couple to fall, and I thought she might just go on a tear there. But
she's kind of bummed that she didn't get to hop on here. She was one that I reached out to in Q, and Q's like, man, we can be in practice. I said, let's win 2 this week, and then you come back next week.
Yeah, we'll definitely get them in here. We'll have plenty of opportunities, and that's my favorite thing about everything we do with Lowco is just getting the student athletes on and letting them show their personality and show. I mean, I'm just so impressed with every single one of them that I talked to at the high school level or the collegiate level, and I remember all the kids that came through USCB that are still like friends now. So. I love getting to know them on a deeper level and relate to them, and then kind of let their personality be reflected through the broadcast and stuff too. So it's awesome. It's a cool group of kids. I've been impressed.
Yeah, it's just they get to have fun, and that's the best part about it. And then we get to relish in it, and we get to remember it, years down the road.
That's right.
But I'll tell you what. Bart's gonna be when she gets going, she's ready.
Ready with the women's highlight.
I was there late the other night putting together the table, and she was in the gym.
Oh, that's the men's highlight. Hold up. Thought I had the women's loaded up.
Yeah, she was out there late. I was there till about 11 o'clock Friday night, and she was out there till about 10:45, putting up shots, trying to make sure.
I believe it. She's a dog. You can just tell. I mean, as soon as I started warming up, I could tell that she was.
Hayward knocking it away. Primo on the break. She likes to operate in transition.
Had Rich DeSpirico on the call with me. That was cool.
Yeah. A couple different voices now to do commentary with.
Yeah, we got John Drops coming out of retirement too, so that's going to be fun.
He's going to be there. Well, you're gone this weekend, right?
Yeah, everybody's out this weekend, unfortunately.
It is going to be a student-run broadcast then.
I know. I heard Gatosi is doing the men's game, which
She's
is
going to do
awesome.
play-by-play for the men's game. She's pumped.
Oh, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, let's talk more about that because
There's Bart.
you've done
Oh,
a great job. I mean, it really started during soccer season, but the student workers that have shown up here for basketball, you have a bunch of them who have been really dedicated. And I'm excited to see how this student-run broadcast goes on Saturday. But just how proud are you of what these student workers have done so far in this athletic season?
well, that's a big shout out to Caroline Sawyer too, who's organizing the broadcast and through the Sand Sharks Center for Collaborative Media. Is that what it's called? Something like that.
Innovative Media.
Innovative Media. Yeah, Innovative Media. She's doing a terrific job. It was an absolute pleasure to work with her yesterday on the broadcast. And, we're still ironing things out. And we talked before the game. She's like, hey, it's not going to be perfect. And I said, it ain't ever going to be perfect. Like, it's going to be perfect is the enemy of good. Like, let's be as good as we can be. And then we'll figure out what we need to adjust. And we already, by the end of the game, had 3 or 4 things that we were both on the same page that, hey, if we added this, so we're just going to get it better and better and better as we go. And the students are learning as they go and getting better every week. It's just like the basketball team. I mean, they're not going to be perfect either. They're going to make mistakes. There's going to be things that they're in the game plan that they didn't execute and other things that weren't in the game plan that they realize needs to be in the next one. And you go back to the drawing board and you get better next time. That's the name of the game. So it's been awesome though to work with the students and then to work with like Nick Weichert, who's one of your assistants, I believe, Brackin, or your department assistant, is doing a great job. And I love just like talking to him about like how we can make it better. Even with Sand Shark USCB All Access, I knew like from experience when I looked at the setup, I was like, oh, dude, where are you capturing this audio? I've done this before. This might be bad. And it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. But we know how to make it better for the next one. And again, that's the name of the game. So we played around last night over the weekend at Hampton doing live stuff on location through StreamYard right here like this. And it was pretty good. And the wireless mics worked well. So we're learning new tricks all the time and taking it to the next level, just like the teams are. But the broadcast has been phenomenal working with the kids.
Yeah, I mean,
usually I don't get to watch our broadcast because usually I'm at most home games, and so I was in the hospitality suite yesterday, and because we had a thing with golf, and they had the streaming set up, and just being able to watch the different camera angles and production change, and it was. I mean, our broadcast might be one of the best. I mean, I know in the Peach Belt because I've seen all of those, but might be one of the best in regards to D2. In the country. It has to be up there.
Oh, 100%.
It's got to be up there.
There's no way. I actually was on the phone with my right hand, my knee, JJ Aaliyah.
Yeah,
he's been my go-to since before. She was working last year with Mitch during baseball, and she's just, she's great. She's learning and she's picking up like these little things. She's like, I want to know if there's something that you see or you want to have fixed or something like that. And she just wants to learn and she's doing a great job. Nick's doing a great job.
Who else is doing a great job is Jessie as Finnegan's handler. She's killing the game.
Yeah. Jessie's she's a Swiss Army knife. She's awesome. She's going to do the table a lot of the time. She really took it during our scrimmage and just took advantage of that opportunity just to sit there.
Larry Bullock was a dog yesterday, and so was Dylan Lewis.
Oh, yeah. They were great.
Look at Larry. He was so smooth yesterday, man. He was locked in. This is when it was still a dogfight, 43-40.
Yeah. They went up 45-44 at the game. There's
Kev. That was a good one.
Kev's the man.
Kev is the man. I love Kev. And people are trying to make somebody else beat you now because they've seen Kev on tape and they know what's going on. And there's a bunch of guys who can do it. They will oblige you happily. Larry Bullock will oblige you. Kobe will oblige you.
Look how
look at that
this broadcast is. It is.
Post is such an energy guy, man. He makes hustle plays. I love that dude. That was a clutch thing from IUP. He's really a good veteran leader. And you only have a couple, but but they seem to be strong enough to kind of carry it as far as leadership goes. And then the kids are all right, man. They're growing up fast, and seems like everybody's really bought in. Which, Wes, it reminds me of the culture of Hampton County football. Of whatever your job is, you do it, and you do it to the best of your ability, and whatever happens, and we roll on to the next fight.
Patrick Henry Patriots.
Patrick Henry Patriots as well, state champs. Speaking of Hampton County, Brackin, we got Gino on here. You want to go ahead and get a commitment to get one time a lifetime season ticket, lifetime pass?
He doesn't need a seat.
He don't need a seat. He'll be walking around all over the place yelling at everybody.
JJ, you'll have to send Gina the clip of one time, because I swear we need one time.
You haven't even seen him at a basketball game yet. He's even crazier at a basketball game. He used to go to all the Ridgeland games because he's the custodian at Ridgeland High School, but his nephews play for Hampton County, so he's at all their games. And he's such a fixture on the team that he now comes to the huddle to break it down with them after the game. And he got his own dog meme, which Wes and I now have our own dog memes too. So
is this dog still named Easy?
Easy, yeah. But Easy is now like a stuffed cow. He used to be a hat, but now he's a stuffed cow.
It was invisible.
Cow.
I mean,
he says it's a dog, but it looks like a cow.
Yeah. It's
okay. The stuffed cow just reminded me of Uncle Mo. But anyways, that was
Uncle Mo, yes. Uncle Mo, the talisman. That was another historic remnant of the 2012 baseball team. My cat is trying to break into my office. One of them. Good times. You never know what'll happen here on the Lowco Media Network. Cat's trying to bargain. Uncle Mo, for those uninitiated, was a broken bat that had been just mangled and like covered in all kinds of stuff, and became like the talisman for the team, named for the momentum during a crazy opening round, NAIA opening round out in Hardyville. There are some things we shouldn't even talk about. There was questionable excrement in the hospitality tent.
New bench
unknown origins
by St. Thomas after their catcher.
Well, of unknown origins.
I mean, we can't say the origin of such. There was
unverified origins. Unverified origins.
But I mean, that was memorable for me too. I was a sophomore or junior, and it was crazy.
We all wore the same clothes for about 4 days in a row because we were afraid if we changed, we wore something different, we'd lose.
Or at least us.
Yeah,
we
Jane
didn't lose.
Upshaw, who, I mean, she was our chancellor when we started athletics, and just a huge Sand Shark fan. And I know she changed a budget meeting for Jasper County so she could go to the World Series because she said my boys are playing. And but yeah, once we got on that we started winning, and she at that time the SID tent for that tournament was on the first base side on the opposite side of the dugout, and she would come sit with JJ and myself and whoever else was in there. The instructions were, you go home and you wash everything you have on, and that's what you wear back here tomorrow, or do not come back. And
you came back wearing that same Navy blazer every day.
Mojo,
it was so hot. It was so
one of
hot
Austin's favorite stories about Jane was when we went to Lee University. We made regionals back when they were called regionals. Brandy and I traveled with her, and we got there the first day of the tournament, and we go to Crystals because Jane Upshaw loves her some Crystals.
She does.
So we had Crystals. We sat at this particular table. We win in this amazing fashion. Walk off. I think in extras against Taylor, and just an amazing comeback win. And so the next day we go to Cracker Barrel, and we lose.
I want to say Adam Miller threw a gem in that game.
Yeah, I think so. And so because we lost, we had to go back to Crystals the next day. And Brandy and I are pretty sure she kicked someone off the table we were sitting at because she pulled some rank and said, I got to sit here for some mojo reasons. But yes, that was, I mean, traveling with Dr. Upshaw.
I'm very sorry to do this to you, but we sat at this table 2 days ago and we won. And then yesterday we lost. So we need to sit at this table, please.
Can you imagine if we had Mama on here
Oh my,
we'll get it
she would
done.
be amazing. It would
We'll
be
get
an
it done
amazing
one day.
broadcast.
We'll get it done one day. I guarantee you, if me and Gina and you all ask her, she'll come do it. I promise you.
I know she's I cannot wait to see her. I haven't seen her since I think it was opening
I
round.
bumped into her recently at the grocery store or someplace. It was really nice to see her. Yeah, I was at the Kroger, where everything happens to me. Weird things happen every time I go to the Kroger.
JJ's stories on Instagram about the Kroger.
Yeah. The one on Buckwalter?
Yeah.
They're real. Yeah.
It's the special place.
Yeah. That is the Kroger. That is the official Kroger, mothership Kroger.
Yeah. It's got everything.
It is a special place because people be walking around in there drinking beers with not a care in the world. Forget why they're there.
They call it
things.
It's known as, someone told me it was called the Crowbar. So that's
the Crowbar.
That's like the way it sticks. That's what I call it, as a
Crowbar. Well, I once saw a woman in there drinking a beer and wearing a T-shirt that said Leonard Skinner, play Freebird. And after seeing her 5 or 6 or 7 times going back and forth through the store, I then heard Freebird playing on the PA, and I was like, man, I hope she didn't leave too early. Hope she didn't miss it.
That's
a good one. And then today I heard In the Air Tonight, and I played the air drums.
It's a good one.
I happened to
they play that in Hampton County too.
Knowed a couple other guys close to my age as I was leaving, and said, "Hey man, were you just playing the drums?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was." Yeah. The side note to that is I was there to pick up colonoscopy prep materials, and if you play the air drums instinctively to In the Air of the Night, no matter where you are, you probably need to get checked. It's time. We're 45 now.
It's that time.
Sorry, guys, it's time. So yeah, fun story about my day at Kroger. But no, it's been a wild ride for USCB athletics, and to see it come from where it was, and I mean, there was early success in some programs, and then there were valleys, and that's the growth curve. The realistic growth curve doesn't go like this; it goes like this. And you guys are coming out of the valley of, having to put your head down and get through the D-True transition, and now we're getting ready to climb again and reach new heights. So it's really exciting to see, from the outside, and now with kind of one foot back in it, to see it happening. So congratulations to everyone involved. Kudos to all of you. What else do we need to do, Brackin? Is that a show?
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of I'm a little lost at the moment.
You let me take the lead. That's fine. I like
you took the lead right out of the start. I was expecting.
No, I thought you wanted me to. So sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
I thought you wanted me to lead. I'm good.
No, we're good.
I'm good at improvisation. I was thinking of something else that I was going to say about regionals. That was crystals. I have another crystal story for oral history. When we hosted, first of all, shout out to the Savannah Bananas. Still friends with Jarrett Orton to this day because of our partnership to host the NAIA opening round at Grayson Stadium right after they got to town.
Is that 2016?
Help them find all the ghosts of Grayson Stadium, which we did. Boy, we uncovered some holes in the operation that they were able to get fixed before they started playing baseball there. But Casey Scott was our site supervisor.
Yes.
And we went over to Crystals. I think it was me and Carlo. Casey wanted some crystals. There's one right there by Grayson Stadium. So we went over there, and we got some. We're going to bring them some back. First of all, they're disgusting. I don't know what's wrong with people. Sorry, Jane Upshaw, but goodness. They're so gross.
Don't let her hear you say that one. She'll never come on.
They're so gross. I'm glad someone likes them, but it's not for me. Secondly, the woman working there, it was pouring rain the entire week. And the woman working there asked me something to the effect of, she asked what we were doing about, were we having a baseball tournament? And I said, what we were doing. And we said we were hosting a baseball tournament at Grayson. And she said, oh, for the kids? And I said, no, it's for college teams. And she said, oh. And I said, but, we haven't been able to play yet because it's raining. And she said, oh, it get pretty muddy over there when it wet. And It was the truest statement that I've ever heard. It does get pretty muddy over there when it's wet. But that's my crystal story. My one and only crystals experience. I will never go eat those things again.
But we ate crystals on the way down with Jane to the airport in Jacksonville for us to fly out to the World Series.
We did. And
we stopped at the one in Brunswick.
Chicken. I think I got chicken, and it was wise because the one time I got the burgers, never again.
So with the
and I don't know why, but for some reason, 2 days ago, the picture we took on the plane from Denver to Spokane came up. The one we shark bombed the people behind us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that showed up on my memories the other day for some random reason.
I forgot about those guys.
Frame. But
I'm pretty sure those guys were either Amish or Mennonite, and I'm pretty sure that they were just walking on the moving sidewalk for fun. Like they were mesmerized by it. I saw them go by numerous times on the moving sidewalk. I think they were just enjoying technology while I had the opportunity. It was a strange trip, to say the least. You cannot get to Lewiston, Idaho from here.
You can't. We left campus at noon, and I think we got into our hotel in Lewiston about 5 a.m. Eastern time. Like
we had to drive to Jacksonville, fly to Denver, fly to Spokane, and drive 2 hours to Lewiston.
To the valley.
In the middle of the night.
Crazy. Something I did just think about, you shouted out Jesse. I also want to give a shout out to Mia. She was our handler for the first game. Mm-hmm. Jesse's going to be flip-flopping, doing some table stuff. This popped up on my memories.
Oh, yeah.
9 years ago,
OG
we haven't released Finnegan yet.
Man, I learned so much in that process from Greg Trummel, SMA, and like so much about merchandising and marketing and like, gosh, it was so cool to get to just be so hands-on and learning things on the fly. That was a cool time of growth. Now you're in a new one. You're learning all new tricks at the D2 level. So very cool.
I want to give a shout out to Split, because when we went out to the Ghost Pirates game, we became friends with Davey. We did a jersey swap. But man, Split turned it on, and he was just he taught us everything.
Well, your Finnegan's doing a great job. He's much taller than I was when I got in that costume. I'll tell you that.
I refuse to get in there. I refuse. Got it?
Yeah,
we're doing it. May not have been washed the last time tomorrow. JJ.
You were the first person to put it on, and it's never been washed.
It may not have been washed since the last time you worn it either. So.
The clothes are still in there from Carolina Day.
Maybe.
That's gross.
That's right. Carolina Day.
We have to. What, don't we have to send it up to Street Characters to get it clean?
I don't know.
I think we had to send it all the way back to Canada to be dry cleaned.
Might have been an oversight. Might have been an oversight. We can send it with Carlo next time he goes back. Have him bring it back with him.
Finnegan might need a passport.
Yeah, summer expense, because we need Finnegan throughout the year.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, got to make sure that But
I did a Carolina Day in Finnegan, and then Glenn Amberson did a Carolina Day in Finnegan with me as his handler. That was good times.
Glenn did such a great job.
That was fun. Glenn was
a lot of fun. Yeah.
They made me be Frankie the Friar at my year up at St. Francis. Put me into that dang friar costume.
That's low man on the totem pole stuff right there.
Yeah, that was the low man on totem pole. You're the intern, and you're getting paid minimum wage, and they say, hey, I need you to hop in there. And I still remember, because I will give Jim Brazil, he is still the associate athletic director, assistant athletic, whatever. He was over my athletic communications. He's like, yeah, Brackin, you gotta go into the friar suit. I'm like, no. I don't want to put that smelly thing on. I had my mascot days. I did the Eagle for a couple games at Beaufort High, and then I was the Chick-fil-A cow. I'm done. Never did.
See, but you have experience, so that just led you to the top of the line.
That's why I can lead Finnegan and do it that way. But Jesse has experience too. So we'll let Jesse keep doing that. Let Mia do it as well. But when we start giving
like shout outs to people and thanking people, we always tend to forget somebody. And so just one person I need to thank is Terry Kicks. She's just been amazing in regards to her knowledge of operations for basketball and just what she's seen. And she's really been my right hand in, taking care of officials and, just learning what we need to do on our side in regards to game day ops. And is always a phone call away if I need her to step in and take care of something for me. But she's amazing and a great person, a great friend, but also a great mentor in really us learning the game day operations side for basketball.
Oh,
I just got a text about how wonderful she and Sharon are earlier today from my friend Blake Bishop. We were texting back and forth about Hampton County football, and he said, "My girl Sharon's going to do great things at USCB." And I said, "You don't have to convince me, dude." And he worked with them at River Ridge when they were coaching basketball over there. So he has a very high opinion, as most people who have crossed paths with him do. So that's a great place to wrap up this rambling journey tonight. We'll be a little bit more structured going forward, but I guess this was the beginning with no guests to speak of. We brought Gina in to begin our oral history of USCB, and we will continue that project on future editions of Sand Shark Rewind. But thanks a lot, guys. That was fun. This is the great thing we get to do. We just talk to our friends, and some people want to listen, and that's cool. So,
we got a few.
But thanks so much to everyone for at USCB for the hospitality, and thanks to all you guys for joining us tonight. We're going to get some sponsors. I'm going to talk with Terry. We're going to get some sponsors for Sand Shark Rewind and get some in here. So until next time, guys, keep those fins up.